the TaylorMade guys called me America's guest, but
America's guest.
yeah, but I mean, it's fun. Like where it's weird almost because some people ask me a lot, like why everywhere I go, I have I like a really good friend. Like wherever, you can just drop me somewhere in the U.S. and I'll find somewhere to stay with like a close friend of mine, play some good golf.
So your name is Julian, but it seems like you gravitate to, the American use of the J.
Yeah, Julian.
And you just introduce yourself that way, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's easier for everybody. It's easier for me because
take the pressure off of them.
Yeah, I mean they get it better, and I don't have to explain, so it's nice and quick. So, Julian.
Yeah, but then they shorten it to Julie, right?
Juli.
Okay.
Yeah,
like
a lot of people
Juli.
call me Juli. Yeah. My mom calls me Juli. My brother calls me Juli. My coaches call me Juli. My teammates call me Juli. So, yeah. I mean,
and then
I go by Julian.
1,000 people in college golf know you because you're the mayor of college golf.
I guess I am.
It is
yeah.
Juli, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
To everybody.
Yeah, to most of them. Yeah. I mean, like there's a couple like other nicknames, but Juli.
We can't use them.
I mean, I don't know, but Juli's good.
Juli's good.
For sure.
So how do you become the mayor of college golf?
Well, I mean, it really started in junior golf. As I told you, like, I moved to the U.S. when I was 15, a boarding school in Bishopsgate Golf Academy with Little John, actually. We used to live there together and train
John
together.
Daly.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I started playing the local, like, Florida events. And then my ranking started getting up, so I was able to play more than national tournaments. And my first big national tournament was the Thunderbird, actually at Greyhawk Golf Club where we play nationals. And there I met friends with Matthew Wolf, John Pack, Alex Fitzpatrick, like all these guys that I ended up playing college golf with. And yeah, it was a blast. I was 15. I think I finished like dead last.
Dead last.
But like I had the most fun out of the field for sure. And then I started playing better and I started getting invited to more of these events. And my best friend, who is Cannon Claycomb, he plays for Alabama. We ran into each other at the airport in Orlando, and we like figured out that we both lived in Orlando. And yeah, he eventually started. I started sneaking out of the golf academy. He would pick me up, and I would go to his house and play golf with him at Lake Nona, and started meeting more and more people and more really good players.
Man, that's like the home of all the tour players.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we've played a lot of games with Ryan Ruffles, Curtis Luck, Sam Horsfield. So, kind of met friends with them. Like we're not like incredible friends, but like we're friends. We play whenever I'm down there sometimes, and it's fun. But I mean, in the winter I always go to Florida, and I live with Cannon in the winters. So, I mean, he's my boy. And then we started playing all these national tournaments and started traveling together and started doing all these things together. And yeah, just met everybody. I mean, seriously, everyone. Like, I remember the director of the AJGA, like I hadn't seen him in 5-6 years. And I saw him at Seminole, and like, we gave each other a hug, like as if we were brothers. I was like, I've met this guy.
That was at
like,
the Stevens Cup.
Yeah. And like, you know, it's pretty cool, you know, like I haven't seen this guy in so long, and like he was like so cool and like remembered exactly who I was, and I was like, this is pretty special. And yeah, I mean, just I've been blessed to be able to meet so many people and establish so many relationships in my life, and I have great friends. I mean, off the golf course, like it's just great. I mean, the TaylorMade guys called me America's guest, but
America's guest.
Yeah, but I mean, it's fun. Like where it's weird almost because some people ask me a lot, like why everywhere I go, I have a really good friend. Like wherever, you can just drop me somewhere in the U.S. and I'll find somewhere to stay with like a close friend of mine and play some good golf.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean,
well, the coaches from the other teams like you too. You're not the enemy.
Oh, I'm not the enemy for sure. I mean, we compete against each other,
Yeah.
but I'm really close to them. You know, none of them recruited me, so I always
They didn't recruit you.
No. So I always give him crap. I was like, dude, like, you could have recruited me, but you completely screwed it up. But granted, I would have. I mean, look at this place. I would have never gone to anywhere else. But I always mess with them and throw jokes around. And I mean, I'm pretty close to them. Like, if they play good, I send them a text. And I mean, they're good people, man. Like, my favorite one is Malloy from Ole Miss. Yeah, we're really close. My freshman year, we were playing Cabo, and he showed up to coach in the tournament in swim trunks and flip flops. I was like, this is my type of guy.
It's a dude.
Yeah, I like this a lot. And like, he was like intense, but like wearing flip flops and a swim trunk. So that was pretty sick. Yeah.
So you told me you picked the Razorbacks.
Yeah, I did. I was committed to South Florida before. Joaquin Neiman. We played a lot together in like growing up, kinda like South American championships and stuff. And once he decided to turn pro, I got cold feet about USF and figured like he going there was the reason why I committed. And then once he turns pro, I'm like, well, like, I'm not gonna go there. Like, do I really want to stay in Florida my whole life? Like, I've been in Orlando, I get it. Like Tampa, I have family in Tampa, so I mean, I've been to Tampa a lot, and USF is there. So Luis Garza worked with my swing coach, Zach Barker, and I kind of texted him. I was like, hey, like, how's the team looking? He was like, yeah, we're pretty good. I was like, okay, great, I'm going. So I went on the next week. I won Junior Worlds at Torrey Pines.
Now you can write your ticket, right?
Yeah, and that put me in like top 5 in the country, like top 5 recruits in the country. And once I did that, it was a pretty bad situation. The USF coach called me, like, to congratulate me, and I was like, yeah, actually, I'm not going to your school anymore. So that was pretty bad. And then I think 10 minutes later, I called Brad, and I was like, hey, no, I called Barrett, actually. I called Barrett, and I was like, hey, I'm coming. He was like, okay, yeah, like, sounds good. And then he was like, yeah, well, like, I'll come watch you play. Because, like, I don't know why he wanted me to. I had just won this. I was like, he's just going to say yes, but he wanted to watch me play. And, I mean, I got fortunate enough that he came to watch me play the next week in Ohio, this Scarlet course, and I won that too, right in front of him.
That's a good track.
Yeah. And, the next day I flew here, I saw it, and I was like, you know what, like, it's a done deal, I'm coming here. And although COVID screwed that season up where I was playing pretty good, I got fortunate enough to come to take my 5th year again and stay here. And I mean, I love it here. I was telling our guys today at lunch, like, if I could do college golf all over again, I would do it in a heartbeat. Like, if you could put me right now as a freshman and start it all over again, I would do it.
Do it again.
Yeah. It goes by way too fast. And I mean, I tell like other players, other friends of mine on other sports, like, they're in their 4th year and they're like, well, I don't know if I should come back or not. I'm like, do it. Like, you should do it.
Well, you know, if you go to any sport, you got a buddy in any sport here. I know you. I used to hear stories from Isaiah Joe that you hung out with him a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
Did you ever go rebound for him?
No.
No, didn't do that.
No, but
and he's not getting your shag balls either.
No, but yeah, we were pretty close. He was awesome. Really good guy, super talented. I mean, played great.
So you can go to Thunder's games, right?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I'm never really gonna make that phone call, but like, if I ever go to a game, I'll tell him like, hey, like, I'm coming to support you or something like that. But
okay, talked earlier when I first saw you play. It was NCAA's here. You're freshman. You're playing as an individual, and I'm walking with Rick McCoy. And he says, "Now watch this cat. He's going to work it left here. He's going to work it right here." And that's not. I mean, most guys come to college, and that's their bane of their existence. They cannot work it both ways. And you tell me that you prefer more of a straight action. It falls one way or the other, right?
Yeah, I mean, it'll fall a little bit left, a little bit right. If I want to, I can make it like bend. Yeah, but I try to keep it straight. I always try to work it towards the hole. I mean, it's really, again, like growing up in a place like I did, it was pretty easy to learn to play golf that way, you know? Like, I gotta hook it, I gotta slice it. So then when I moved to the US, it was more like with my coach Zach and my coach Hernan, like, how do I get it straighter? You know, like, what do I have to do to, like, get it straighter and get the ball in front of me the whole round? Because, like, putting's not my... I mean, now I'm putting good, but, like, my first couple of years in college, putting was pretty bad. So, like...
And you had a lot of chances early when I watched you.
Oh, my God, yeah. I mean, I would go tournaments, I would hit 48, 50 greens out of 54 in regulation and shoot, like, even par. It was miserable. It was terrible. But I was hitting it so good and so straight that, like, I could still have a good finish without putting that good. And eventually through the years, we've been polishing my game and my putting towards what it's leading up to now, which is, I mean, I'm playing pretty good.
Is putting, is it just hours of practice?
Yeah. It's hours. It's a lot of confidence. It's a lot of, like, what do you have to do to get yourself to be comfortable over it? Because when I putt good, it's just pure comfort. Like, I feel good over it.
Relaxed.
Yeah. Like, so I started, I was like, okay, like, it starts at setup. So I started measuring, like, how far away, like, the top of, like, my left foot is from the ball, how far away my right foot is from the ball, and a left to right putt and a right to left putt. So, like, when I'm playing, I'm always, like, trying to, like, you'll see me when I'm putting, like, setting up to it, I'm always, like, tapping my feet, trying to find that, like, comfort zone that I try to find here, adapt to
the triangle with the ball,
yeah, like, yeah, I'm just trying to, like, feel comfortable, get my eyes on the same place every single time. And once I understood that, and I mean, you have to put in so many hours, you know, like, to try to blend that in. I work with this mental coach, his name is Fran Perelzolo, and he's a neuroscientist also. And to be able to, like, do those things in automatic, it takes you from 6 to 8 weeks without competition. So, like, once you start, like,
routine,
but I don't ever have 6 weeks without competition. So, like, how long is it gonna take me? It's gonna take me way longer. I need to put in way more work. So, I mean, we grind on putting, yeah.
All right, tell me about Brad McMakin. What makes him tick, and what makes him you wanted to stay here for a 5th year?
Yeah, I mean, it's him and Bart too.
Yeah, I was going to get to Bart.
Yeah. But
want to hear because they're a great tandem.
Yeah, I mean, they're fun, man. You know, they get it. You know, like, they know what I'm here for. Brad, if I want to talk about Brad, I would say that, like, if I need him, he's always gonna be there. You know, like, if I'm grinding on my own, he's gonna pop in and say, like, hey, what are you doing? I explain. He's like, okay, cool. Like, he won't get in my business, and, like, I'm gonna do whatever he needs me to do to help the team. So it's a really good balance.
If you need somebody to go talk to somebody, you're the guy.
Yeah, I mean, always. It's always been that way, and it'll always be that way. I mean, we're really close. Brad and I are really close, and yeah, he's just like, if I need my own space, and, like, I feel that I'm doing good, and I'm like, hey, like, I got this. He's like, you got it. You know, that's good. And, like, he's the type of coach that, like, he understands that we're adults and that we're trying to play professional golf. So he's not gonna be, like, asking us to practice or setting up practice or, like, hey, like, come do this because, like, at this time.
This is the rule, yeah.
No, like, hey, like, we tell him what we're gonna do and we come out here and, like, we grind. Like, he doesn't have to tell us to practice, you know, which I think, like, that's great. But, like, if we're slacking and, like, let's say we had, like, he can see, I mean, he's here all day. Like, he can see if we're grinding, we're not grinding, we're taking it seriously, we're not taking it seriously. If we haven't taken it seriously by any means and we play bad in a tournament, he'll get on us and he'll get us right. But for the most part, like,
he can be a taskmaster.
Yeah, I mean, he gets it, you know? Like, no one needs to tell me to practice. Ever. Like, he doesn't have to tell me, like, hey, practice is at this time. Like, I'll be here before the practice time, and I'll be here after the practice time. 100%. And so are all of our guys. Because we're all trying to play professional golf. So, like, if, like, let's say practice was 2 to 4, like, we wouldn't just show up, hit balls from 2 to 4, and leave. Because, like, that's just your average. Like, if you're doing that, you're just being extremely average, you know? Like, what's that gonna get you? I mean, Tiger Woods, like, they've published articles about his routine. The guy woke up at 4 in the morning and went to sleep at 7 p.m. and never stopped working. So like, I mean, we're just here for like 7 hours a day, and like pretty intense, you know. Like when we go out to the course and like we play our games, it gets pretty rowdy out there. Like we're trying to like beat each other's head off, you know, for like some incentives. But
What's rowdy mean?
I mean, we play this game called Wolf. It's a pretty good game. It's a 5-some, and you pick your partner and then just hope that you do good. You make a lot of birdies.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's great at that. Again, like we don't have study hall. Like if he says like, you guys are here because y'all want to be really good. You're already really good to be here. So I don't have to tell you like, hey, come do this. Hey, go study. Hey, go work out. Like no, like hey, get sleep. Hey, eat well. Like we know that. Like so we kind of make his job easier because he doesn't have to be like, oh, like let's go guys. Like
Well, it starts by picking the right guys.
Of course. I mean, Mateo, this transfer called Christian. Dude, Christian's here. I mean, if he doesn't have a busy day in school, he's probably here 10 hours a day. Like grinding. That guy will be in the indoor at night hitting balls. Like that's the thing like most don't see, you know, like it's a really hard game and you have to put a lot of time to try to be close to figuring it out, because you will never like own this game. It will always own you no matter what. If you shoot 60, shoot 60, you could have always shot 59.
Yeah. Well, it's the guys win that can play the bad shots, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about Barrett Lass.
Barrett's awesome. Again, I mean, I think it's the perfect balance on our team. Like Brad's 50 something and Barrett's 37. I can't get this wrong because like he doesn't like when I overage him, but that's all right. He's in his middle-age crisis. It's okay. But yeah, Barrett's great.
You'll get there one day.
Yeah, I will for sure. Hopefully, yeah. But yeah, Barrett's awesome. He's a really good guy. He recruited me. He went on the trips to see me a lot. He always like replied my emails, everything. Like, so he's way more than a coach, you know. He's a really good friend of mine. I try to help him in his charity thing for his late son Hudson every year, and I mean, I'm really close friends with Jess, his wife. Like, she's awesome, and she's always had my back. And Barrett and I have a pretty strong relationship, I would say. Like, we'll play Call of Duty together on the Xbox, like FIFA. Like, we'll do things beyond the coach and a student athlete would do. Like, we hang out, we play against each other a lot. He actually beat me not so long ago, and he's been blowing up Twitter about it. Every time I tweet something, he's like, "Oh, remember this," and post a picture of the scorecard. He beat me, but that's okay, you know.
Once.
Twice.
Oh, twice.
But he took a picture of it once, so he only puts that one picture. But yeah, he's awesome. The 2 times I've won in college have been with him by my side. In Alabama and in Vanderbilt, and then just now in Seminole, he was there for pretty much every shot too. So we kind of click on the golf course real well. He's very affirmative. He knows that I like to play my game and that I have a pretty good golf IQ, so he just lets me go. Yeah. I'm like, hey, I like this with this to this, and he's like, okay, I love it. And I'm like, perfect. Like, thanks for telling me that. Because like, if you would have said no, I'm still gonna do it. So you reassuring my decision is pretty big time.
Julian, Latin golf is on a surge. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's you see it in a lot of. I mean, you mentioned Neiman.
Yeah.
And there's several others that.
Yeah. Mito Pereira.
Yeah,
Munoz.
I mean, he's on the verge of really. I mean, he almost won a major.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
I mean, I don't really know what to tell you. You know, with that, I mean, Joaquin has always been a superstar.
Yeah.
Like, always. I mean, the guy is a freak. I mean, he's 23 years old, man. He's winning everything. Like,
yeah, he looks like
great.
He's going to make every putt. He thinks he's going to make every putt.
And that's his worst part of his game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you really think about it, like, ball striking phenom. Like, Mateo and I and Segundo, like, Manuel was younger, but when we would play around him or against him in tournaments, like, we would just watch him hit balls on the range. The guy's a freak. Like, it's ridiculous how good he hits the golf ball. It's actually a joke. Like, it makes me look dumb. Like, I feel bad for myself. I'm like,
Don't line up next to him, right?
no, like he's incredible, and he's a great guy, and I mean he's really pushed Latin golf forward. I would say. I mean him, Grillo from Argentina, but like Joaquin is like, it's like the perfect person to push it forward, and he has, you know, like young, like super charismatic,
Has it
super
together.
fun. Like, yeah, I mean, I've done like really cool things with Joaquin in my life. Like he's just fun. Like, I would say the rest, but like he's just super fun.
Okay, you know the tour pretty good. Who's maybe it's going to be him. Who's going to kind of burst out of the pack? Who's going to be the guy?
Well, Joaquin plays on the Live Tour.
Yeah.
He plays on the Live Tour now. Out of the PGA Tour, you say, or
Yeah, or majors. Who's going to win? He's probably going to play the majors.
He's probably gonna win a major. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's unpredictable though. Like, you never win. Plain and simple. Like, how many tournaments did Tiger Woods win out of his whole career? I think it's like 14%, and he's the
He
best
won 82. Yeah.
and 82 out of I don't know how
Yeah.
many hundreds of tournaments he played in. So like, how do you win? I don't know. Like, it takes like a lot of factors to win. Like how other guys play, how you play down the stretch. Like, it's a lot of things. But I mean, he's gonna win. He's gonna keep winning. That's a non-negotiable. But it's a sport where you win very little, and when you get it's a sport where you also get your heart broken a lot. So he's the type of guy that is super chill, super easygoing, always smiling. Fantastic friend, seriously, unbelievable friend. Will do anything for anyone, and he's got all the talent in the world, and he also works very hard. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins again, but I think he's only won 2 times.
Yeah.
So like, it's crazy. Like, it's a scary sport because you really, like, we're talking about Tiger Woods, and like he's the like undisputed GOAT of this sport, and like he's won 80 something times in his life. It's crazy.
So you're a Razorback,
I am.
and your 5 years here. You could argue that it's one of the glory times for all of Razorback
Oh, yeah.
sports. I mean, I know you go to everything, so the chances are you're going to go see a winner in whatever sport
Yeah.
you know. It hasn't always been that way. It's
No.
pretty cool right
Definitely
now.
wasn't this way my first 3 years here, football, or first 2 years in football. It wasn't that way, or basketball. But Hunter's great. I mean, hats off to him. He's unbelievable.
Why do you say that?
I say that way beyond his job. Like, I'm really good friends with his son Jake, and like you can tell if like how good a person he is because of his son. Jake is an unbelievable guy, great friend, great human being too. And like, when you see Hunter, like, he's always gonna give you that little time. He's an extremely busy human being, and every time I see him, he like asks me how I'm doing, because I had that falling out last year where I quit golf for like 4 or 5 months. So like, he's always asking me how I'm doing, like if I need any help with anything or whatever. So he's got our back as student athletes for sure. He gets it. He wants us to do great, not only in sports but like in life. So having him as a leader of this athletic program is unbelievable. I mean, I don't know how other student athletes think, how much in depth other student athletes like go into this, but I think that he's by far the best AD in the country. I mean, the guy's truly unbelievable. Like, he goes to everything. If he can go to an event, he will go. And like, he really loves his job. You know, he has that like, I love my job motto.
So you go to everything, so you
Yeah.
know if he's there or not.
Yeah, but like, he's great, and like, he truly cares. I mean, the hires he's made, like our gymnastics coach is unbelievable. Like, out of like our major sports, right? Sam Pittman's great. Coach Muss, he's unbelievable also, and I've gotten to know Coach Muss pretty well, and he's a great guy, so dedicated. So, I mean, he's just hiring the right people to do the right thing, you know. I just met the new tennis coach. he's a really cool guy too. He actually played here, I think. So I don't know, man. It's just having him as a leader is pretty cool. It's pretty special. Like when you're a recruit, you really don't have no idea who the AD is or what he does. But like the recruits here, I always tell them that our AD is the man. Like he's great, and he'll do anything to like push us. So I mean, he's branded the Razorbacks in a way that like few schools are branded, and this brand has gotten so big that we're doing good in pretty much every single sport.